Rose,
Hey
right?
everyone, Arsenal Fan Circle here is Thursday Night Forum. Thanks for joining us as always. And Tony, Gary, and Alonso, thanks for joining me as well tonight.
And a few
Tonight
grim
we
ones you
are.
brought along.
Go ahead, Tony.
I
You
said,
have the
and a
mic.
few grim ones you brought along to start the show with.
I got him beside me, Gary. Oh my God, it's going to be a hell of a show. Um, Listen, Tony, we do not have European football, as we all know. So,
Duh.
well,
For the first time in a
just
quarter century, right?
setting the stage here, Gary. We're going to have to reduce our squad down, I believe. Benefits of that for me will be Arteta will have to hone in on the players he really wants, the players he needs to keep, Tony, and hopefully we're going to have less tinkering just because we are going to have less games. What do you think, Tony? We'll just go around, Tony, Gary, and Alonso, to set the stage here a little bit.
I
Tony,
don't under,
take it away.
I don't understand Lego binary yet, so no telling what Arteta's that do. You'll think he'll do one thing and he'll do the opposite for no sense, no rhyme or reason. But we need to thin our squad down. We need to give the youth players more time. And really not sure.
Tony, say hello to Stephen. He's in the house. And thanks, Stephen, for joining us tonight.
My hetero life mate.
Always appreciate those who answer the call. Gary, 21-man squad. I mean, it may not be 21-man this coming season, but we do need to reduce our squad. More players have to leave than come in. Hopefully, we're getting rid of some of the players. Willian, Granit Xhaka. We'll talk about Xhaka tonight. But we have to reduce the squad, Tony or Gary, and we are going to do that tonight. We're going to help everyone. There'll be certain areas, Gary, we agree on, and certain areas we disagree on.
That is correct because we never agree with Ray because Ray's always wrong.
Alonso,
Lucky
bring
charmed.
some sanity
I'm
to this,
not again.
Alonso.
I don't know why I'm in this mood, but I guess I am. Hello, everybody in the chat before we get to Alonso.
Because you're backed up against the wall, Gary. That's your problem.
It's gonna be a fun one tonight, Alonso. So thanks for joining us. We're gonna have fun with this one tonight. We are going to agree on certain areas, Alonso, but other areas we're going to disagree on. So, your quick thoughts on it, Alonso?
Yeah, clearly this is gonna be a busy summer for us. Like Tony said, we don't know if Arteta and they do know what they're doing still. Seems like we're getting outbid a lot to players or players rumored to be coming to us or not. So and then we're also giving rumors has it that we're giving contract extensions to players we don't really need. So that being said, it's a kind of interesting summer. Maybe it's got off to a bad start, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, we're going to talk about each player. We'll go with the goalkeepers. First of all, we're going to fill out the first 11, and we're going to add them to our 21-man squad ticker board down here on the bottom. I think it may be safe, Tony, and as we go through each player, we're going to talk about their highs and lows, just reminisce about last season, what they did good, their high points and their low points, if we can remember. First one, I struggled, Tony. I'm going to pick Bernd Leno as our goalkeeper. I've got two other goalkeepers as part of our squad as well, but for me, Bernd Leno has done well last season. So for me, he gets in as the goalkeeper for next season. Tony?
I would go with Leno, but I think for some reason where they end up selling him, I don't think he's going to stay. So I would put Matt Ryan in there because our other goalkeeper can't start until November.
All right, so Gary, we have one vote for Bernd Leno and one vote for Matt Ryan. We would love to have Matty Ryan back. That's for sure.
Yeah, once Tony put his vote in, I was like, oh wait, I didn't even think about. Wasn't really thinking about that as far as Leno actually not being here. If we do go out and get our suspended goalkeeper, I mean, I guess I have Leno here, so I'm gonna go with that. I think I don't even know who to vote for now. Yeah, I think
This will be your starting 11 next season. I know there's a
Yeah.
lot of moving parts.
a lot of moving parts, but I kind of feel like if we're going to go down, if we're gonna go down that route of picking up a goalkeeper who can't play for a while, probably gonna have to hold on to Leno longer than he wants us to. And you know what? We always talk about being ruthless. Be ruthless. It's not up to him it's not up to the player all the time, right? He wanted to stay. He wanted to stay, right? He's staying. So, and then now he wants to leave. I don't know. When does the team get to do what they want, which is hold on to a player until they don't need him anymore, as opposed to let them go. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go with Leno to start.
Okay, so I think Alonso, and you'll get to start off voting on the next round, but we'll talk about the goalkeeper. And it seems like Bernd Leno is going to get the spot for us starting next season. What would be your choice, Alonso?
My ideal choice would be Matty Ryan. I really like the way he communicates with the back four we had. I want to say it's a next shift back four because you don't know which center player you're going to get, which back four you're going to get either. But I like Matty Ryan. I think he proved a lot to us the time he did play. It was unfortunate how he got hurt, but I really like Matty Ryan. Bernd Leno, I don't know. He's just too unfocused sometimes. Sometimes it wasn't his fault, but I think that whenever you know a goalkeeper wants to leave, you got to move on from him. And what's about Onana, right?
Yeah, Nana. What's
Yeah.
his name?
Yeah. Oh God, right. Yeah. So I like Matty Ryan to start us off with.
Hey, anytime you get to talk about Riri, it's not a bad podcast.
Who's
so.
breaking the tie?
What?
Who's breaking the tie? It's
There's no-
2-2.
Ray, Tony, there's no tie.
No tie. It's Bernd Leno.
Ray's overpowering us.
Tony,
Split 2-2.
I'm on your side, buddy, but I can't. How do I do this time? Who did you pick, Tony?
I mean, I just say realistic because
I picked Ryan. Alonso picked Ryan. You were kind of undecided.
Yeah, and listen, you can put him in your squad as well, Matty Ryan.
Well, you know
Might
what?
as
If we're gonna get Ryan and Leno, we're gonna have to have 3 goalkeepers. So 22-man squad. I don't see how else we do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep it at 21 right now, and we'll see if we got room at the
So
end.
wait, how does this work? You get an extra vote?
He already got an extra vote.
No,
Alright, well,
we're all going around on the 21-man squad.
It's 2 and 2. So how does that Leno work?
Oh, I guess.
You want me to
okay,
change? Because I can change mine.
Here's what we're going to do, Gary. The first person that starts off, and we're going to go in rotation, they get to vote. They get the final vote. So
He just
We're
makes
gonna
this thing up.
Right.
Everybody in the chats, he just made this rule up just because.
Ray's
He's
so
gonna-
full of
he's gonna
shit.
it's a little bit
By
of
the
fun.
end.
So
By the end of this, it's going to be the last person, and then it's going to be the second or the third person,
Oh, we're-
depending on where he is
we're
in
going
the
to
picking
go.
order.
We're going to go clockwise. So Tony will be able to veto the next, but I don't think there'll be much debate on the next one. We're going to go.
How do you know it's? Oh, you get to pick which position.
It's going to be left back, and it's going to be Tierney.
Yes. Gary, since you're speaking so eloquently, any high points or low points for Bernd Leno? A couple of low points in distribution for me, playing out from the back. But obviously some great saves throughout the season.
Yeah, that's what what he does is he makes really good saves, right? So we know that. But everything else about his game needs a lot of work because it hurts the team sometimes. All right,
Yeah.
so he can make stops all day long. When he doesn't have to think, he is really good. But when he has to think, a cross is coming in, a long pass is coming in. Like you said, if he has to play out from the back when he's got a little bit of pressure on him and he can see it coming, just not there. I don't understand. If he works out, I mean, every so often with Neuer, you would think some of that would rub off, and we would see some of that, right? But we're
Yeah.
not. We're
Yeah.
not seeing it. I mean, I don't know where he stands in terms of goalkeepers. I think what people said he's probably third now. I don't know if he was ever second, but definitely I think he's third in the list, right?
Third in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not getting the second best goalkeeper in Germany right now. So yeah, his saves are really, he does really well when he doesn't, like I said, when he doesn't have to think, when he just reacts because he doesn't have any choice because he's been let down in front of him. But when he has time to think about what's going to happen, he always hesitates, and I don't understand why. Just go out there and clean the ball. He did it right at the end of the season, right? He came out for a cross, got it at his high point. I guess he came down and hurt himself. Maybe that's why he doesn't do it. But that's what we need. We need somebody who's going to command the box and take all the balls in the air. He doesn't do that. And we don't have center backs that can clear the ball. So, we're in trouble when the ball's in the air. We've seen it too many times now. So, yeah, I think that's Leno in a nutshell. He can save with the best of them, but all the other aspects of his game, they struggle. I mean,
I remember a couple of great saves in the FA Cup against Newcastle. Ultimately, Arteta would overlook the FA Cup against Southampton away from home. Alonso, any good points, any good memories from Leno last season? He didn't do anything really outstanding, but he was a pretty consistent performer, I think.
Trying to think. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Man City game in the FA Cup semifinal. Maybe it was Chelsea, the first game this year, this season. God, I'm trying to think.
Oh, no problem. We can move on. I mean, Bernd Leno is pretty consistent. Tony, do you want to answer your own question here? How good is our new keepers coach?
I have no idea. I don't know the
All right,
guy's
Tony.
name. Know where he coached at before. Know nothing about him besides these.
Let's go
two guys.
to your second selection of left back, and your.
I already told you, Kieran Tierney, our captain. I'm giving him a captain's armband too.
High points and low points of Kieran Tierney this season.
Injuries, high points. He's the best player on the team.
And that goal, Gary, against West Brom.
yes,
Just full of determination that day.
yeah, he looked really good. Yeah, like Tony said, I mean, his injuries set him back. I mean, he isn't perfect, so he doesn't have, we need to lead by him a lot, and I don't think we get that sometimes. I mean, I know he doesn't have the armband, but I feel like he needs to be able to show some of that leadership, and we see it sometimes, but I think we need to see it consistently. So it'll make it easy to just say he's the captain, right? When you see him out there, kind of leading the team up and down the pitch. I mean, Xhaka isn't a captain in every game, but you can see him out there, kind of leading the troops as best he can, and that's what we need from Tierney. I mean, I don't know if he's not allowed. That's my fear, is that Tierney's being kind of held back because we have so many captains on the team that are supposed to lead us. That's what I feel. I mean,
Yeah,
because
I think
the man is led, in the Scottish league. I mean, from a young age, so it's not something he hasn't done, and it's not something he can't do now. So I kind of feel like, what, he is, when he's out of the game, we feel it.
Gary,
we feel it.
Kieran Tierney seems to me to be that respectful person. You can see it in the way he carries himself. He carries his belongings in a Tesco bag, for God's sake. He's respectful. So I do believe he is respectful in the dressing room. He looks around the dressing room. He's seeing those players that are older than him, and he defers to them, I think, in some ways. Now, a good thing with the news of Granit Xhaka leaving and the various other players leaving, that there will be a vacuum in that dressing room, that Kieran Tierney can take on more responsibility next season, Gary.
It should have happened already, regardless of who was part of the leadership council or whatever. I mean, from the first day I saw him play, I was like, yes, that's what we're looking for. That's kind of like when we talk about the Arsenal way, and we're not. That's it right there. He epitomizes it all the time when he's out there. That's what we want. We want that fire, right? We want that fire in the Leeds game. We want that finishing that we saw, in, like you said, I think it's a West Brom game. Is it West Brom?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
My first goal.
Yeah. You know when he's not on the pitch, kind of what that does to the team, and then you listen to the audio track when he's, and you're like, yeah, we want more of that.
Mike
So he
said,
needs
yeah.
he needs to be given the keys if he's holding back. Like you said, he's being respectful to the way the team is structured, right? But I feel like he's one that should be just given the keys and said, here, lead us, right? We need it. We need somebody like that who's going to go chase after the other team when they try to show us up and try to get into our heads, right? We miss it all the time, right? So yeah, it should be easy for him to be part of the leadership, group or whatever they call it going into the new season.
Alonso, go ahead. Alonso, low point, obviously, as Tony said, was the injury. I don't know if Alonso's dropped out here at the second now or not. But Tony, a low point was the injury against Liverpool. Hurt us in the end with the 2 semifinals.
Yeah, you always have to worry about his fitness. That's kind of the biggest question with him as far as playing and his leadership abilities. You can't question that at all. Hopefully he's not injury prone. It's been kind of different type of injuries.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can stay fit next season.
Yeah, Alonso, injuries have been his downfall. He lost, I think he missed about 12 or 14 league games for us. I think he completed 24. But, no doubt he is the kind of player we do need moving forward in our team.
Yeah, and he's just a very talented left back, and we haven't had that left back type since I believe Doug Lucy. Even
Galatasaray, yeah.
He's hit the center so high, Tierney, that it's kind of hard to compare because he's just a different dude, man. He just leads by example, and he's just so young to be that talented as far as being left back and also being a captain type of player. He's just beyond years as far as that goes, and we haven't had a left back captain in a very long time. So it's kind of good to see a throwback kind of player at our squad right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great term, a throwback player. Anyone want to throw in any final words on Kieran Tierney? I will just say that, as we mentioned just now, we want to see him grow within the dressing room, be part of the revolution, being the eldest of some of the younger players and leading by example. I think it comes naturally to every professional as the older generation move on and are moved on, like Granit Xhaka now news he's going to go to Roma. So we'll have a little section about Xhaka when we get into midfield. And Tony can have his say for sure.
Can I call it the C word?
No, you can't. No, unless it's a nice C word. You know what I mean?
It is a nice C word.
So unless Gary has something further to say about Kieran Tierney, Gary, you have the next selection about left centre back.
The left center back. All right. Now as far as Tierney, we definitely need to find that backup for him. If he's going to be playing in the summer, and the way that we manage the players, he's probably not going to, be ready to play because he's going to be so tired from playing in the summer, and then he's going to be traveling if he comes with the team to wherever we're going. Where we're going to Scotland, I think, or Ireland or wherever, and then Florida.
We're going to Scotland, then we're going to the US, and then we're coming back to the Emirates.
Yeah, so he's going to be really busy doing all of that. But it should be easy. He should be, if not the captain, the vice captain, easily.
Steven says here, it doesn't help when we can't rest Tierney because we don't have the backup, and when he's injured, he's brought back earlier than he should be. Gary, question about the backup option, whatever that may be for Tierney. We're going to have to reduce the squad, and for me, I don't have absolute cover at left back in my 21, I'm going to ask Bukayo Saka to be that cover in those situations.
I don't think we can do that anymore. We need to have that cover regardless.
Mhm.
Based on what you're just saying, you're not going to give any cover to any of the, it's I guess Cedric maybe, but we found that doesn't work. Chambers,
If he makes your 21,
that's the other part. I mean, based on right back, I mean, I have no, not right, left back. Left back, I don't even have a spot. I haven't filled in that spot as blank right now for me. I feel like we need to have pretty much two of everything. All right, and definitely left back because that's where we're going to hurt the most. Right back, I think we're fine with what we have. We don't change. I would like us to change, but we're not that shrewd in this transfer business. But left back, we need to have some solid cover there. Like you said, putting Saka there, that just means that he'll never rest. Or if he does rest, it's because he's been playing left back. So then what? You're just punishing him, right? We shouldn't be punishing our best players when we can just put somebody in that spot, right? In a jam, you can use them, right? But you should really have solid backups for your at least definitely for Tierney. We've lived through that. We shouldn't have to go through it again. If that means you have to expand the roster, then you have to. We need to have somebody there.
Okay, well, we can get into that wider discussion when we get into the squad players.
Yep. So left. So you said left center back, right? I think that one's an easy one.
Yep.
Right, it's an easy one. You're going to do all the easy ones first, huh? So left center back, yeah. I'm going to go Marie. No.
You're going to go with Marie.
No. Stop that. Gabriel, easy.
He's going for the Brazilian.
Yeah, no, I'm going for the Brazilian. No, Gabriel, he needs to keep playing. He's going to only get better the more he plays, so he needs to play. He's out there playing with the Brazil. He might even come back with a gold medal, right? So, I mean, I think that squad is pretty strong in the Olympics, so they might do pretty well there. So, it's nice to see, it's nice to have at least, players that are playing for their country and good, not on the bench, So I think we need that. We should be able to have some of the best players for their countries playing for us, and that's two up and coming players, right? So they're growing with us. So I think Gabriel definitely deserves that. He needs more. He needs more time.
Let's reminisce, Gary. A bad moment for Gabriel and a really, really good moment for Gabriel.
All right. So I guess I'm gonna sandwich it because I don't want to start or end with a bad. I think the way he started the season, he was pretty solid there. When Luis couldn't play and he came in and he did really well for us. Scored what he scored the first or second goal of the season for us or whatever. Right. So that's a good start for us. I think the bad part. Yeah, I think the negatives for him, I think, is when he pretty much started to wear down. And that's what we saw, I think, with some of the play the way he was playing. Also, he needed some mentorship, and I don't think he had it all the time. So that's the problem with having such a young player, is that he's just not ready to take on the day in, day outs of the Premier League. And we saw that we saw him struggle. We saw him actually try to do too much, put himself in. And that's, I think, when anybody talks about him, they always talk about him kind of putting himself in positions, out of position, and we get punished for that. I think he's trying to do too much, and maybe that's when he gets tired. He does that. But he had, what player, and I guess that, that would be the one negative I have for him. The red card, I think that was just that, like I said, him doing too much and not having a solid partner next to him, I think, at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who his partner was in that game when he got the red card, but you could just see it coming. If he's playing with a solid partner, they're going to, and they know that he needs some support, there's no way he's going to get that second yellow, right? There's no reason to put yourself in that situation. And then, And then after that, just the clearance off the line against, was that Benfica? I think it was. I can't remember which team it was. Where he cleared the ball off. Was it Benfica when he cleared the ball off the line?
Yeah.
So that's what he has, and he can give that to us all the time. He just needs more. He needs more playing time, and that's what he's going to get, hopefully. So yeah, Gabriel, easy peasy left center back for us.
Alonso, highs and lows of Gabriel, and do you agree? Do you agree, first of all, the left center back position? Would that be your selection?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say no. He to me.
And real quick, Gary, he was partnering Rob Holding that game. So
yeah. I mean, it's telling, right? I mean, when he struggles in games, who his partner is important.
All right, Alonso.
Yeah. So I think that this year was learning curve for him. I think he's only going to get better. I think whenever he scored, didn't he score his first 2 goals back to back?
He scored on his debut against Fulham, and the next game was West Ham, so probably not back to back. But
he scored again, right?
He did score again. I have a highlight. One of the I think it was a away game against Olympiacos. That towering header was a real highlight for Gabriel.
Okay, so I think scoring on his debut was one of them that I remember the most, because that kind of set the tone for him. And I think that coming off the bench, not knowing he's going to start or not, was pretty impressive. But I think the first year coming from Lille, and then the English barrier as well, kind of hurting him a little bit. But he'll get better. I think I have faith in him. But he did mess up as well. And even red card, and then the not being focused enough in some games as well, kind of held him back a little bit. But I think he's going to get better. And so, yeah, Gabriel for sure.
Yeah, I think. Thanks, Alonso. Some good points there. I think coming from France, definitely we can't underestimate what David Luiz did for him and Willian off the field, of course, not on the field, in helping him settle. We all remember that introduction video where they're chatting to each other. So I think Gabriel got a good foundation with the Brazilians. There's still another Gabriel there who we, I'm sure, all have in our 21 as well, later to be determined for Martinelli, but I got him in there anyway. But I think Gabriel, he struggled in that patch that the whole team struggled in. And to Gary's point, I agree, he tried to do too much. And I think when you try to do too much, you get out of your skill set and you actually do more harm. There is an issue there. He didn't trust the quality of his teammates because they weren't performing, and he was getting very often goals would go in and Gabriel would be the one right there, but it wouldn't be his fault. Like the Leicester game, we all remember Vardy poaching that goal on us. So yeah,
he was pointing to his partner, right, telling him, "Watch out." Right. I just remember that just before that, he's like, Vardy, the best player on the other side who comes in to score, watch him.
I think Gabriel has a sense of danger. He can sniff it out. And having this season under his belt is definitely going to help him. So that's a low point. Getting sent off, Theo Walcott was the player he got caught out of position with. Theo Walcott was clever. And that's something that Gabriel can learn from this season. I hope he goes into this offseason. He's going to the Olympics. I hope he does well there. But he takes time to reflect on his season. I think overall he's done pretty well at the club and has been a very good signing for us. And hopefully we haven't seen the best of him yet, and he can only improve. I think David Luiz helped him, as I said, on the field and off the field. But Tony, your reflections on Gabriel at left centre back?
I think he was a surprise signing of the summer, probably our best signing. If you go back and look at it, he was legitimately up for best player of the season up until he went out with COVID. And for whatever reason, Arteta didn't want to bring him back quickly into his squad, and he kind of sat on the sidelines for almost 2 months, and his form went down. Got a stupid red card, and still a lot of player there. I think he's one to build around.
Yeah, and looking at what we have so far, 3 candidates, 3 in our first 11 here. Bernd Leno, not a bad goalkeeper. Obviously a great left back, and Gabriel. And the 2 of them, Tony, we've seen in that mic'd up video that Kieran Tierney and Gabriel communicate very, very well with each other and talk to each other. And Gabriel's actually telling Kieran Tierney where to position himself, which is a great thing.
Yeah, maybe they learn Gaelic and communicate that way instead of Portuguese and English.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next pick, your turn, Alonso, the right centre back for you. Are you recalling a young French defender, or are you going to go with? He didn't cost 50 million, Rob Holding, or do you have a wild card at right back, right centre back?
Maldini.
And let's remember, three signings we can make. We can bring 3 players into our squad.
Why 3?
Realistic. Because I picked it. It's a great round number.
It's not a round number.
And it's the well, yeah, exactly. 1, it's not a round number. 2, why?
Okay.
I just pull shit out of
Let's make a little bet, Gary. I believe 3 players.
We're not betting. This is us deciding on the future of the team, right? And you're telling me I got to restrict it to 3 players when I know that 12 to 13 players from the previous squad should be gone, right?
For bringing in
and now you're telling me I can only remove three from our game day squad.
It is my belief, Gary.
5, right?
It is my belief that we will sign 3 players, and that's all. 3 players. Gary, you think we'll sign more?
Over and under a 5, Gary says. Gary's thinking.
I think we need to do 5. It's definitely going to be more than 3.
Okay.
Because you can't. We're not going to get Onana and just 2 other players. So
all right, I will give you a max.
No, you can't change it now.
5.
You said 3, so you're stuck on 3. So you lose.
Okay, Alonso. let's get Alonso involved here. Alonso, what have you got?
So I'm on the fences here. I really am, because I like Rob Holding, but I also like Pablo Mari. Gosh, I
can still be a squad player.
Yeah, I want to get a nod from Pablo Mari, because this is a problem I have with Arteta, right? He doesn't trust his center backs enough, and I think there's a player, Murray. I think that he means a lot to Arsenal. I think that he's not a great center back, but he's good enough to be at Arsenal. I think that he also helps Gabriel, and I wish that Gabriel were playing. Murray were playing more, because I want to see more out of him. I think that there's some things that we still haven't seen out of Paul Murray, right? So I think I want to see more of him.
You want to see more of him?
Yeah.
So are you voting for Pablo Mari?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Tony.
We're skipping you?
Yeah.
No, go in order. Come on, dude.
Okay, I'll go in order.
Well, I already know you're going with Maldini, so
you guys are giving me a hard time tonight.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Saliba. I want to bring back William Saliba. We spent 27 million on a defender we haven't seen in 2 years, apart from a preseason game. I have a real feeling that Arteta does not believe in Saliba, but I want to see him play. I want to evaluate him. We should have done it last season. We could have been 8th and have Saliba in the team and still be 8th. So for me, it's William Saliba. Rob Holding is a very, very decent squad player, and he can be part of my squad. But for me, it's William Saliba. So we got 1 vote each going to Tony.
Well, to me, it's up to 2 different people. It's either Mari or Chambers. I'm going to put Chambers at right back. So it has to be Mari, however you want to say it.
2 votes for Pablo Mari Dini, whoever we're going to call him.
Maldini, as you call him.
Gary?
Wow. So wait, what did Tony say now?
Tony said Pablo Mari, and Alonso holds the tiebreaker. So if you say Saliba, Alonso gets to decide.
What did you say, Ray?
I said Saliba.
No, well, you know what? I'm looking at my thing here. I mean, I kind of agree somewhat with Tony that, Marie, it'd be good to have Marie next to Gabriel, one for the mentorship that you need, right?
I said that.
It's not his, huh?
I actually said that.
Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You said that? Oh no, but I mean, you picked Saliba though, right?
No, I picked
Yeah.
Marie.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
picked Mari.
and Tony picked who?
Come on, Gary.
Mari,
Get with the program. Come
I
on.
am definitely killing the program.
you're up against the wall
And
again.
we need to pick up the pace. We're 30 minutes in. We've selected 3 players.
I get that. All right. So you know
On
what?
pace for 4 hours.
I think Marie
It's
is
your
who I
fault
want.
for showing up late.
I think Marie is who I want on at right center back just because of the mentorship that we need.
Okay. Pablo Mari.
Saliba should be on the team though. By the end of the season, Saliba should be the starting left center back.
And anyone in the comments disagree, just throw it in there. Say, I heartily disagree with all of you saying Pablo Mari, a left-sided defender, playing as a right central defender. Okay, it comes
How
back to
many
me.
years did we play with 2 right-footed center backs?
Yeah. Let's
Well,
stay focused here.
Yeah, let's say focus when when you don't agree with it. I got it.
Let's get a few comments in here. Stephen, thanks for staying with us. Stefan and Stephen, good to have you here. Arteta messed up with his player selections. Why would he keep dropping informed players, trying to force partnerships that everyone can see doesn't work, playing players out of position? No more. I think Stephen, reduced amount of minutes, no more European football. A reduced squad means less tinkering. It might actually be a good thing for Mikel Arteta to have those 7 days coaching his players and having a settled side, a settled 11 here. Once a metalhead, always a metalhead. Still wear band T-shirts and go to gigs. Though not at the moment, in my 50s. Good stuff, Stefan. Arteta doesn't believe in Saliba, while the whole Arsenal fan base don't believe in Arteta. And he's still getting a chance, so it's only right Saliba gets a chance. Bring him in pre-season. At least bring him into the squad, right, Gary?
Well, here's the thing with that whole thing. I don't understand. Arsenal's the only team, at least because I don't listen to anybody else's team commentary, but the only team where, we're going to bring him in so he can fight for his spot. What? We didn't let Gabriel didn't have to come in and fight for his spot. Did he?
Nope.
Gabriel is a player you actually went out and got early, said let him play for a little while on his, on loan, and now you're still, this is the problem, right, with the team. He needs who's making decisions here? Is Richard Garlick looking at the situation going, wait a second, we have a right center back who actually played well, was considered one of the top right center backs in the league, right? And we can't give him a chance. He's not on our team. Why? He's young, so it's only going to improve if we have the right coaching. He should be on the team. The only reason why I don't want him he's not starting for me at the beginning of the season because I think he needs more time to acclimate. But by the end of the season, he should be our left center back.
Yeah. Okay. Right back. This is where I'm going to spend some money. I'm going to go to Norwich City. I'm going to buy Max Aarons. I think he's a dynamic right back. I think he can improve. I think he's the type of hungry player Arsenal should be targeting, and he has already played in the Premier League. And I think he's young. He can only get better. It will cost us some money, but I would go for Max Aarons. Tony?
Every time we play Max Aarons, he looks like crap. We beat him up and down the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go with him. I'd save money here and stick with Chambers.
Chambers would be in the squad for me. Gary?
Yeah, I think my starter here.
First choice 11.
Yeah, my first choice 11 here is I guess Chambers. Yep.
Stephen says Max Aarons is crap. And I think he can improve. He comes into the Premier League. He plays with better players. I think he can be coached as well.
I mean, the one thing that we want to see, right, and we'll know if Arteta is full of crap or not, is he's going to have time to get these players ready to go. The ones that aren't playing in the Euros, the ones that aren't playing in the Olympics, right? He's going to have a little bit of more extra time with them.
Preseason, yeah.
So those players need to come. Like Chambers, he's not playing anywhere, right? So he should be coming in ready to go. Marie's not playing, so he should, if he's going to start, like I said, like I said, if he's going to start on the right hand side, then he should have enough time in preseason to figure that all out. So that's where I'm going with that.
Okay, so you're going to pick Chambers. I think, Tony, you already picked Chambers as well.
Yep.
2 votes to 1. Alonso?
I go with Chambers because he's shown that he's versatile. He can play.
The host is overruled.
He can play right back very well.
What's going on? Sorry, Alonso.
And he's redeemed himself quite a bit since the injuries he's had. So I don't mind Chambers' position. I think he crosses the ball very well. I think he does what a veteran doesn't do, and that's fight for a badge, I guess. And I would not be surprised if he's named vice captain next year.
Right. So listen, that's our back 5 right now.
Alonso, have you eaten? Somebody asked earlier, did you eat? I have a feeling you didn't eat much today. Are you feeling lightheaded?
But
Brownie asked if he was still eating. I think
that's our back. That's our back 5 there. Bernd Leno, Kieran Tierney, Callum Chambers at right back. Who's, I think they give good balance to the team. Gabriel Amari, probably 2 of our better defenders.
Well, Gary, he does fight for a badge, Gary. He does fight for a badge. Maybe that vice captaincy isn't really as far fetched, but
yeah, no, and I think X-Files case closed. What's that? What is going on here?
We are going into midfield, and you see Tony's beaming right now. We're going to talk about Granit Xhaka, between 18 and 20 million being reported. Granit Xhaka leaving to join up with Mourinho at Roma. Tony.
Yep. The door can't hit him fast enough. Like I said, the door can't hit him fast enough. I said it last summer. I said it the summer before. I'd carry him on my back with both his thumbs up my ass to the airport.
God, Tony, Jesus, man.
Hey, it's true. If it's true, you got to speak it. I haven't been a champion.
I don't know where. This must be some like Oklahoma or Texas thing that I don't understand.
It's Oklahoma thing. Don't get it twisted, Gary. It's an Oklahoma thing.
Gary, when I mentioned Granit Xhaka leaving for Roma, and Tony just said, "Yeah," I was like, "You've waited for years just to say yeah."
They wear you down. Arsenal wears you down to the point where they actually do something good, and you're like, "Okay, good."
You're relieved, right?
I wasn't finished yet.
Like 2-3 years late on certain maneuvers. This is one of them, right?
I do have
the midfield has
been
been midfield's been a bane of our. It's been the point of all of our pain. If you want to look at the pain, it's the midfield. It's been the midfield for years, and who's been there consistently?
Mm.
No, yeah.
Right.
Listen. It's no coincidence. 5 years, Tony.
No
Granit Xhaka
Champions
has been with
League.
us. No Champions League with Granit Xhaka in the team. No coincidence.
Nope.
Right. So finish your thought.
He's been bang average, but only people that seem to like him are people that like only eating vanilla ice cream, only like missionary
I like
sex,
vanilla ice cream.
and
Vanilla ice
obey the
cream.
speed
What are you
limit
talking
all the
about?
time. Those are Zaka's fans. And
I
I'm
like
actually
vanilla
gonna be
ice cream.
I'm actually to be more glad his fans are out of the club than him.
Right.
I'm
Tony-
sorry, but you just stepped over the line. I like vanilla ice cream, so
Yeah,
stop
exactly.
it. So I
All
don't know
right.
where you,
Do you like plain vanilla or do you like vanilla bean, French vanilla?
Vanilla bean's
if I
good.
have a choice, it's vanilla. Okay.
The only
Beans,
thing with Xhaka going
it doesn't
is
matter. Just give me some vanilla.
the only thing with
Plain old
Xhaka
vanilla
going is
for
I want
Gary.
him replaced with an upgrade, not a player a bit better. I want a big improvement. Rumors are Neves. He will be a slight improvement, but still a Granit Xhaka type style player.
Boo.
That's the thing that I'm a little confused on is Neves replacing Xhaka
Mhm.
and
Let's
Basuma replacing Xhaka. So, which so
let's
Why
bring
can't Party
Alonso
play
in.
by himself back there?
Let's bring Alonso in real quick. Alonso, any thoughts on Granit Xhaka? And you can be the first one to give us your highs and lows this season of Granit Xhaka. Should be easy.
My highs were him scoring against Chelsea. I think that it kind of was a great goal. I think that the way he had confidence to put that in was pretty remarkable given the fact that we weren't very good at the time, and it would give us a lift. I think also with Granit Xhaka was that though he didn't bring a spark was the fact that he played left back, and he didn't do a great job, but he didn't do a bad job either with that position he was given. And the low point, I mean, this it's kind of sets a picture a bad point because he isn't a great player.
No.
But he did it. Oh gosh,
Just say it. Just say the Burnley game. Come on.
the
we all
Burnley
know it.
game and that pass was it Burnley? He had that back
Yeah, the
pass.
Burnley game away. That pass that he couldn't lift over
Yeah.
Chris Wood.
And
Right?
also that pass at Everton as well. That's a goal also. That Granit Xhaka, excuse me, that Leno didn't pick up, right? So it's like all these things accumulated into him being a bad player.
That for me now, talking about Bernd Leno, that was a bad moment. Bernd Leno letting that ball through his hands for me. So listen, Tony, the high points, you're mute, I think. The high points of Granit Xhaka and the low points of Granit Xhaka this season. And let's pick up the pace here. We're going to go into midfield. We got to pick up the pace. The podcast has to speed up here.
High point, he's leaving. Low point, he played.
All right, Gary.
Bye, Granite.
Gary, Granit Xhaka is leaving, so let's pick up the pace here. We want our midfield to be a little bit faster. Any final words about Granit Xhaka, Gary?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's some of the, I guess I'm going
He's slower than molasses.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for joining.
I mean, the one thing about Xhaka that I guess I did like about him is I can understand why many feel he's a good leader to a lot of the players. Like anytime I hear him speak, I'm like, why can't I get that guy on the pitch playing? The guy that I'm listening to, why can't I get that guy? Because I never see that guy. I see something else when he's on the pitch. It's not the same person. And when he's playing for Switzerland, I see a different person, So that's outside of him leaving, that's one of the high points for me. I understand that. He did have, like you say, he did have the one shot or that he scored. But if Arsenal's changing, then they need to scorch the earth essentially. And he's just one of the things that has to go. Him getting the armband back is probably, like, in his career, would probably be the one big negative for me, that he actually got it back. That he's actually asked to wear it. And Arteta, he can't. No, or no, Arteta, you can't do that. The man took the armband and threw it down, right, and dropped it or whatever he did.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be a captain, and he threw the armband down just because people were screaming at him. It's part of the job. He knows why they were screaming at him. There were other people saying negative things, which I don't agree with, right? But he knows why. He knows why a lot of the crowd was happy he was coming off. I think it's because we see him out there, and we're not seeing other people get the same opportunities he is, right? So it looks, for us, it's like, you know what? Why you keep getting chances? You're not the answer right now. Why can't somebody else try, right? I mean, I have no doubt if you would have put Emile Smith-Rowe and had him play next to Partey, we would have seen somebody trying out there in that position.
You happy with the money we're going to get, 18 to 20 million? I mean, it's not bad for a 29-year-old.
Yeah, it's because we devalue our players. So no matter what,
we could have got 40 million for him. 16
yeah, we know that.
No, but I mean, I think it's a good number now. But I do think he's a captain of Switzerland. He is our, as far as everybody keeps saying, he's a consistent player in our pitch. We're letting him go for really cheap, based on all of those parameters that you kind of would use if you were going to sell. The reason why he's being let go is because the team is letting him go more. I think they let him go because of the fans and not because they believe it, right? And that's stupid. I don't think they do anything for football reasons. That's the part that I don't get. They're doing things for marketing reasons, and they're not doing it for the right reasons. And other teams know it. They know that they can take us. Anytime we put a player out there, they know whatever the price is for that player, they know they can get it for less because we're that kind of a team. And that's kind of the culture and the business model that we have, is that we don't value our players enough that other teams feel like we're letting them go. And, it was a really hard decision, as opposed to we want them out.
At this, not to labor this point, we want to move on a little bit, but, what would you think is a decent price for Granit Xhaka, Gary?
I think 25.
Yeah. So, it's another 5 to 7 million.
Yeah, but it is a 5 million, which we could use to buy a backup, goalkeeper who can't play for 6 months.
And
right?
I thought I heard an echo of somebody saying we could have got 40 million, but I could have been mistaken. I thought I heard something to that effect.
40 million euros.
we're always a little late, right? Like the show. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like the show, exactly. Listen, so that's Granit Xhaka leaving. We're going to get back on the 21-man squad. We're 50 minutes in.
Bye, Granit.
I would say hi to everybody in the chats, just to give a quick roll call. That's Stefan. We got Rich. We got Ray. Sorry, Ryan. Who else we got in there before I forget here? Steven. Steven was in there
Rich
earlier.
Is there.
Some guy called Tony. I don't know what that guy's always in the chats all the time.
50 minutes in, 50 more minutes in, we've got 5 players. So let's not spend 10 minutes per player. Let's inject some athleticism and speed into our midfield now. Tony, it's your turn. Give us one of your central midfielders for next season as your starting 11.
Well, I'm playing with one deep midfielder, and that would be Partey.
Okay. Highs and lows real quick. Yep.
Injuries.
Get moving. Come on.
Injuries. Fans kind of turning against him because injuries. He started kind of clicking their end.
Gary?
I guess his negatives for me, like you said, partly the injuries, but also I think he didn't seem to – I don't think he got the – well, and this is maybe part of the coaching. He didn't get the respect of that position where he should have been the lead. I mean, the first game that he came in for a long time, Xhaka had more passes than him, and why is that? He should, we know that midfield it should be Partey's regardless, right? And that's why you spent $50 million on him. If you put all that money into him, then he should play and he should be the centerpiece of that midfield, right? You don't have to. It doesn't have to go to the seniority. It has to go with a better player, and that's he is a better player. We saw when he is healthy and when he's feeling it, he's really good.
What he can do.
He's
Yeah.
really good. He can control the ball and push it upfield. His shooting will probably hopefully improve, but we can see some good things from him when he's ready to go. So Partey for me, easy.
Excellent. Yeah. Alonso, our form picked up past that golden date of December 26th. It's hard to put your finger on how and what happened. Maybe all of the team improved, but for sure,
Injuries
I
to
think
Smith Rowe played.
Oh, Jesus
Continue
Christ.
on, Ray.
I'm sure Partey had a part to play as well in it, Alonso.
Smith Rowe had a part to play. Move on, Ray.
Alonso,
Are
talk
you-
about your selection of midfield, Alonso.
Is Tony done?
Yes,
All right, so Party,
I
right?
have to mute him. He's done.
I think with Party, I think he came at Arsenal kind of hurt, right? He kind of came back banged up. So we didn't really see the true blue what's his name, Party very much, at least to the beginning of his Arsenal career. But we saw glimpses of him that were telling us that the future is very bright with him. And why we paid $50 million for him, I think that he, like Gabriel, had their moments in their first year at Arsenal that kind of hurt them. But I think those hurts will make him better as next year goes on. So Party for me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pencil him in here as well. Partey for me. I
Pencil.
think
No pencils.
Permanent
Come on.
marker.
Pencil
Permanent
sounds
marker.
like he's chiseled in there.
he's chiseled. I like that. And we're gonna start scrolling along the bottom here now. So, yeah, Partey's in. High for me. Partey almost scoring goals in the last game of the season. That's a high, right? Having a shot on target.
Yeah, exactly. All the shots were on target. They just were blocked or whatnot. But yeah, he did.
Really,
he did
really
well.
unlucky. But that assist for Lacazette in the Sheffield United away from home game, really, really good move there. Lowe's obviously was the North London derby, Shite Hart Lane. Not his fault coming off injured, but an amateur manager trying to throw him back on.
Well, it was his fault. He knows better than to do what he did, and he should know. He should know what that game means to Arsenal. So if he's going to play, he needs to play, and if he needs to, fall to the ground right in front of the ball as it's coming, whatever he has to do to stop the play, he needs to do that. He would never, and I've said it multiple times, he would have never ran off the pitch like that if he was in, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
No way. So that's the issue with the team, because a player like that would just walk off the pitch. Nah.
Right, Gary, your turn. Who are you going to partner him with?
Yeah, I hear Tony in terms of having that single player in the back there. I just want to solidify that middle and get it better. So I need another defensive player. I mean, I think based on my list here, I do have. I have
Steven's
Bissouma.
asking about Torreira. Could he partner Partey? Is he worth keeping rather than taking pathetic money
If
for him?
he's so set about not staying in England. He wants to go.
Yeah,
Send you back to
unfortunately, it's the end.
Argentina.
Boca Juniors or whatever it is.
Yep.
That's how desperate he is to get out. I don't think he understands that we're not going to just let him go for nothing, because that's what I think he wants. And we shouldn't do that anymore. So either he goes on loan until, we get some money back, but nah.
Are you spending money here, Gary? in this
I
position?
think I am. I was gonna get Basuma, so I know that kind of changes the formation a little bit.
Yeah.
'Cause he's a similar player to Partey, but I just feel like I would like to see that, and then let I don't know who gets to move up and down the pitch, but I know we're not going to lose the ball as much in midfield with Basuma there, because he definitely will track back. He definitely has some defensive skills on him, and Partey will be that. He'll still be that. He'll still kind of be by himself there to some degree, because Basuma will be able to, he'll be able to release Basuma and let him play. Like, when we saw him play against us, right? Those types of things Xhaka is not doing, right? The things that he was doing against us. That's what we need. So Basuma is the one I would pick there. I mean, I like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Rich, thanks for the comment there. Channel deserves more subs. One of the best Arsenal channels I've seen. It's great we get more subs, but it's not the be all and end all. We're going to trundle along, keep going. We will be here. We're consistent. I think we put together really good pre-game shows, especially when the games are played. We analyze as well. I would really like to analyze the formation, and Mikel Arteta definitely keeps us guessing at times, and it's actually fun to do it as well, to try to understand him. But yeah, we need to get to at least 500 subs. That would be great. Let's see if we can do that. Alonso, are you spending money to partner Partey?
Realistically, yes, but unrealistically, I don't know. I think that we have a. So
Who's your choice? Who's your choice to partner him?
So my choice would be someone that's on a club already, and that's Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I really like this kid. I think that the way Arteta's treating him is kind of unfair. I think that he would bring a lot to midfield if used properly, right? Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case at all. However, I think Gary's right. I think Basuma would be the ideal choice if I were spending money. It'd be him for Basuma, not Neves. It'd be Basuma, because I've seen him play against Arsenal the last game, and he did pretty good for himself. I thought that he was getting ready to at least make his way for Arsenal, and I hope that happens. I think that he knows Pepe, he knows Gabriel, so it'd be the ideal choice for. I think we all could agree with that.
Yeah, I put Yves Bissouma. I put Bissouma in there, and we're going to go to Tony. I think he is going to be that shield in front of our back four, allowing Partey to get a little bit further up the pitch and link up with the forward players that we're going to get into next. Tony, your choice to partner Partey, or you actually don't really want to do that? You want to go with a creative player?
Yeah, I want to go with two box-to-box midfielders, two creative midfielders. So I have
Who would be your selection?
Smith Rowe.
Okay. I mean, I think Smith Rowe, without doubt, will find a position further up the field here. You're overruled. Bissouma gets
he is
the
further
spot.
up the field.
He will be further up the field. Alonso, you're next. Who are you going to pick? We're doing a 4-2-3-1. So you get to choose your position. Which one do you want to fill, Alonso?
I would like to fill right wing.
Right wing. What's your nomination for right wing?
My nomination would be Gabriel Martinelli.
On the right.
No. I take that back. It would be Saka.
Bukayo Saka, probably the first name on the team sheet nowadays, and he's proved it, rightly so. Player of the season for us. High points and low points for Saka. It's going to be tough if you don't have any low points for Saka. That's fine, because he's a fine player. Probably the low point was the minutes he played, right, Alonso?
Yeah, of course. I think that Arteta just burnt him out. I think that he was used a lot, and I guess if you have like a coach like Arteta, whom doesn't really shows the amateur side whenever he depends so much on our player, especially if he's young as Bukayo Saka is, right? And then his high point, of course, was scoring that great goal against Chelsea.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree with you. And I don't care if it was a cross or not. It was still a really
it
good
was
goal. And it was against Chelsea. So
pretty cheeky, right? So, I mean, I think that he's just going to blossom from now on. I think that his attitude is right there, and the fight that he has. I think he's just a very talented player, and he's good for Arsenal and for country as well, for England. So, look out. I think he's on his way.
yeah, definitely. Rich, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate the comments in here with all of the regulars as well. Gary looks too chill to get too angry. Well, I can tell you, if you're on the motorway and you meet Gary, he wouldn't be too chilled. Right, Gary?
Yeah, you better be good on the highway. Yeah, I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy. But you know
Gary
what?
has a license
Okay,
to fly his
here's
bird.
here's the reason why I was crazy. Tell him, Ray. Why was I upset that day?
Somehow it's because of me, right?
No, it wasn't. What
West
game was
Ham-
it?
Was it the West Ham game?
No, it wasn't a West Ham game.
You were trying to get to.
I was trying to get home, and I started watching a game, and what game was that? Now I have to go. It was a game where I think we scored to take the lead and lost it or something like that, right at the end. Oh my gosh!
Well, while you're looking for that, I'll just talk
I
about
think it's the Aston
Saka.
Villa game.
I'll just talk about Saka myself. One of the high points, and you might remember this, or not. We were in a really tough part of our season, losing game after game. He actually created a chance for Aubameyang. It was probably our only chance against Southampton. Saka was instrumental in beating 3 players and putting it on a plate pretty much for Aubameyang to score. So high point for Saka. And of course, you always see him scoring tap-ins. That's because he's always involved in really good interplay with other teammates. So he's always on the end of moves. And I think Saka's a player, got 6 or 7 goals last season. We want him to get more. Because we know midfield is not going to provide it. We're going to get some from our defenders. But Saka is a player we want to get towards 10 goals. Gary's got the smile on his face like he remembers now when he was angry.
Yes. I got into the car probably in the 85th minute of the Slavia Prague game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Sorry. I left the hotel room.
Yep.
Right when we scored. And by the time I got into the car, turned on the video just to see it before I got onto the road. Anger happened, basically. That's what happened. So I was not a happy driver.
Gary going down the highway.
So Arsenal pissed me off just before I got in the car to go drive for whatever 100 miles, whatever it was I was driving. I was not happy.
Gary said, "Fuck this shit."
I only came out of football once in an absolutely foul mood, and that was after Ipswich lost 5-1 to Southampton.
Yeah.
I was livid.
Rich had a question, a general football question. I think I have one. This is what I think I see. I hear it from the commentary all the time. Why didn't he just shoot that ball? Players nowadays, for some reason, touch, and just won't shoot the ball, and then you lose the opportunity. It happens all the time. I don't understand why they do that.
And watch old Arsenal videos when
To shoot
Wenger
the
was
ball,
coaching.
just you have an
I can only
opportunity.
imagine, Gary, it's got something to do with expected goals and the way the game is analyzed that year.
Just kick the damn ball into the net. It's not hard.
You can't
Yeah, but probably the XG on that position.
Arsenal
was not.
spent the last I guess I would say the Emery seasons with so many touches in the box, nobody even looking at the goal. I mean, it's easy to defend when the offensive player never even looks at the goal, but they're touching the ball inside the 18. Shoot the thing. I mean, that's just what I've noticed a lot. And you watch any match, at some point they're going to say, "Oh, he should have just taken that shot. What was the extra 3 or 4 touches for? Just shoot it."
You have a Y button on Xbox controller.
Just shoot it, and that's something I noticed. I don't know. It's a negative. It's a bad trend for me because you don't get too many opportunities to shoot, and you should just go ahead and do it. You know, the worst thing is to happen. It might go off a defender and go in. That but you got to kick it. You got to kick it.
Crypto with Brownie. Here's a question: are you calling it Euro 2020? I'm calling it 2021. Tony, Saka is going to make it into the team sheet. Highs and lows.
Highs and lows. Highs, he was our player of the season. Lots of memorable goals, lots of memorable assists. And lows, he just kind of got a little tired at the end of the season. Nothing really too low.
Gary, it's my turn next. What position would you like me to pick?
I didn't even talk about Saka, so I don't know. Am I not allowed to talk about him?
First, give me the position that I can pick, then you can talk about Saka. Is that fair?
I guess we'll play number 10, right? Let's think about that.
Yes, sir. All right, Saka.
So Saka, I mean, everything he did was good. I mean, the only thing, if there's a negative there, and because I want to be picky, I want him. He should be able to score more. So he needs to work on his shooting boots. Yes. So it's constructive criticism. That's one thing he needs to work on. He should be scoring more goals for us, as many touches as he got. He's not going to have a chance to do it this offseason, but he needs to get a lot stronger because he is going to get knocked down to the ground. We've seen that time and time again. At some point, he's going to have to be able to absorb those hits because they're going to keep coming, or he's going to have to be better on his feet. And that's, maybe he needs to learn something from Pepe because I think Pepe with the ball at his feet is pretty good. So he needs to be able to do that so he can get away from defenders so they can't knock him down all the time. Unless it's a Kane shoulder, which nobody's been able to avoid. So, that's where I'm going with that.
A Kane shoulder.
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere.
Just dive.
Okay, number 10, I'm going to go with Ødegaard. Ødegaard, it does seem like we are going to be pushing the boat out for him. We're going to be spending a decent amount of money, big chunk of change. I think that he's got a taste of what football's like in England, and he adapted quite well. Wasn't perfect, had a couple of injuries here and there, but with him and Emil Smith-Rowe in the team, and I would play Emil Smith-Rowe on the left as well, he would definitely be in my first team. Yeah, it gives you that ball security that Arteta loves. But Ødegaard, I think he can get better. He's not going to be that assist maker. We're going to be comparing. If we get Ødegaard, we're going to be comparing him to Buendia, looking at him side by side, what could have been and what we have, But I think it's an unfair comparison because I think Ødegaard is going to be more involved in the build-up play, and Buendia, I think, is going to be closer to the strikers. Tony, your choice as number 10 after me picking Ødegaard.
It'd be either Smith-Rowe or Joe Willock, but I'm going to go with Smith-Rowe. I would probably try to spend the money on Ødegaard, but I don't think we're going to spend it. It'd be nice to get him for $45 million. We should get a $5 million discount for having Ceballos for 2 seasons and all the own goals and fuck-ups he made.
They should pay us sufferance pay. You're right. Gary?
It's funny because I have both on my team, on my squad. I have both Ødegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe. So it's kind of like one of them has to sit now.
Because Ray chose before Mason, asshole.
Why is he so mad at you?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's
I can
love.
take it.
It's
as the
love.
host, you have to take the love and the hate equally, Gary, as the host. You know what I mean?
And it's love and hate.
And I guess I am torn now between the two of them because in one breath I want I think that they both need to play, but only one can. So,
well,
it's
like
by yourself.
21-man squad. Gary, what is a good thing with a 21-man squad is you're going to have equal competition. Hopefully you're having competition. So we put these as a first 11. We're hoping the
Yeah.
next 10 after the first 11 are just as good, if not slightly less than.
Yeah, no, I think one things that I did notice good about Erdiger, and I guess I'm going to go with him. I mean, it pushes Milsworth Rowe back, but he's not. I don't need him there yet. So Erdiger probably is the one for me. And if Partey isn't going to improve from what he's, from where he was, this season, then Erdegaard should also kind of see his see his play improve as well. Because I just noticed so many times Partey passing it to Erdegaard, and they're both under duress. They both got a player on their shoulder, on their back, and it doesn't really matter. They both seem to be okay with players around them. So I'm going to go with Erdegaard because, like you said, if we're going to spend that much money on him, then he should play. This is like Partey. You're not going to spend 40 million plus on a player and sit him. It just makes no sense. We can't afford to do that. So he's on the team. He's playing.
This is what I love about this podcast. We're all different, and we're all slightly crazy in some way, shape, or form. And Tony
Some slightly
definitely
more crazier than others.
Tony's probably the most crazy one when he brings it. And you know what? Tony's entertaining, so big up yourself. You know what I mean?
It's because I can't make 2-footed challenges.
Alonso, I've put Erdegaard up there. Who are you putting in as your number 10? Because I think there's 2 votes for Erdegaard here.
Smith Rowe.
And you already agreed with Tony once. This would be uncanny if you agree with him for a
He
second
can
time.
do whatever he wants, Ray.
Exactly.
Ray's trying to influence it already and slow down the show. Zaka's gone. We got to speed up.
Okay, Tony. Thanks, Alonzo Jr. I would put down Rudiger, aka Odegaard, because he just we haven't seen the best of him. You know what I mean? We haven't seen the best of Milsworth Rowe. We haven't seen the best of Partey. So this is still an unfinished product to me. So I think it'd be good to get Odegaard back. I think that he wants that. He there's that part of him that still wants to be at Arsenal. And so we should do our best to get him. I think he's kind of more important to me, at least as far as getting this team back on track than what Bissouma is. So I want to see Odegaard back at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And
definitely, as Stefan says, he resents the suggestion that Tony is the most crazy. Does that mean one of the other 3 of us are, or is it just?
Yeah, I was wondering if he meant whoever is in this podcast with us. Yeah,
I think Stefan might be putting himself forward in the chat section as the craziest, right? Or the craziest overall.
Or it could be you, Ray.
Could be me, but
You and your Irish time, your long
I
goodbyes.
like vanilla, so there you go.
Yeah, but you said you like vanilla bean.
Yes, Tony, I think you get to choose next. Don't forget, Lacazette could be the striker. You get to choose between, I think, 2 positions here: left wing or striker.
I'm gonna go with left wing, and I'm gonna go with Pepe over to the left.
You wanted Emile Smith Rowe as your 10. You were lobbying for Emile Smith Rowe, and you
You won't let me have 2.
Why are you
2
telling him
boxes,
how to
right?
think?
You won't let me have 2
You
boxes.
think I can manipulate him, Gary?
You
If
are
it was my
trying.
choice, it'd be Partey, Smith Rowe, and Joe Willock. Then Lacazette in the middle, Pepe to the left,
All right, Gary.
and
I
Saka
won't
to the right.
question Gary. Do you think I can control Tony, Gary?
You're trying. You keep
You can
trying.
fucking try. You're not going to succeed.
Many have tried, few have succeeded. Tony,
Only the bear trap beat Tony.
you pick Pepe, Tony, right?
Yep.
High points and low points of Pepe last season.
Low points is the manager not having any faith in him, not playing him at all. He'd go out there, get a couple of goals.
Willian being picked ahead of him.
Yeah, William being picked ahead of him. But you go out there, score a few goals, get a few assists, get benched. Go out, score a few goals, a couple more assists, benched.
Get benched.
So that's the low point. The high point, he had a nice number of goals, nice number of assists. I think he can keep on getting 10 plus goals, 10 plus assists for us.
Definitely.
He's given the 30 plus games.
So Steven thinks I'm the craziest. I just managed to hide it better than everyone else. Oh, okay, I'll go along with that.
Oh, you can't praise Ray like that. Come on.
20,
What's
20,
crazy?
20 goal involvements for Pepe. Excellent. I mean, excellent last season. Would like to push him to 25 goal involvements next season. Gary, your independent choice of left wing feathered by me or Tony.
For me, I think on the left side.
Pepe.
Can I speak? No.
You can roll your
No, I mean,
eyes.
it's got to be Pepe. It's easy choice, right? I think he needs to be on the pitch, regardless of where he is. If they want to put him on the left or right, whatever, he's gonna have to learn how to play on either side, anyways. The way that Arteta plays, at some point he's gonna have to switch. So Pepe, easy choice. His highs and lows. I think his highs are just the things that he does. We just don't know when that's going to happen, and that's part of the low is that he needs to play for 90 minutes because you never know when he's going to give it to you. The more he plays, the more we see it, though. I mean, I know we saw a lot of it towards the end of the season versus some of the lower teams, but that's he gets the confidence when he plays like that, so he needs more of that. So, yeah, I think we should expect to see more from Pepe this upcoming season, a lot from him before he goes away in January. So, yeah, Pepe, easy choice. He needs to. I would like to see him do what he was doing in the early parts of like a year or two ago, where he just could take anybody on with the ball. I think he hesitates and doesn't want to do that. I don't know. I'm assuming it's because that's against the rules.
Yeah,
but
like what we saw against Liverpool, right?
Yeah, he can take a player on by himself, and get some space if he wants to. And I think he needs to want to a lot more. So, yeah.
I think we're so close with Pepe. We saw him starting to be unlocked toward the end of the season. Insane talent and quality in those 2 goals against Crystal Palace, and those 2 goals in the last game, I think, was Brighton. He's got bags of talent, Alonso. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that it starts with the right back, and I think that with Bellerin, he's just lost out there, and I think that's what cost Pepe a lot because, when you have a guy like Chambers who's not as fast but can get up there pretty decently, it kind of hurt Pepe. It kind of helped Pepe a lot because it kind of showed his qualities, right? And with Pepe, I think one of his strong points is that he's not afraid to track back this year, at least. So, I think that there's a lot of you go with a lot of highs towards the end of the season because he was finally getting that confidence back that he didn't have at the beginning of the year because Arteta wasn't playing him as much as he was later on. But then there were some times that he just didn't. He just disappeared, and he just would dribble too much, or he would just shoot out of control when he didn't quite find his boots until later on in the season. Which I'd rather have him do that now, so the next season he could have confidence to start every game in, game out. But Arteta won't do that, and I think that's where, as fans, you want to say, well, this sucks because now we're stuck back at square one, right? And Pepe is just too talented of a player to do that too, So I think that I'm glad and happy for him that he finished what he did because he's a player that feeds off confidence. So when he's not playing, he doesn't have that confidence. So hopefully Arteta sees that, and we'll play more this year.
I definitely agree with you, Alonso. I think this is a season more than any we cannot carry any passengers. That's why We're trimming the squad down here to 21 men. We have 10 spots filled, one left. We're going to talk about the striker next. But we can't carry players like Granit Xhaka, who's leaving now for decent money. Willian reported to be leaving as well. And, David Luiz has left. Eddie Nketiah. There's going to be a lot of players need to be moved on.
Yeah, but Eddie's supposedly signing a new deal.
Yeah, let's not get Gary started on that one. Let's
Or
calm it
Tony.
down a bit. Gary, is it your turn next?
I think so. This is striker, right? You said.
Striker. Yeah, and I'm gonna bow out for a second, so you guys just go around, and you go ahead. You start. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So the striker for me, and I think it's based on the fact that our transfer business is poor. So to me, it's going to be either one of either Aubameyang or Lacazette. That's going to be the starter. It will most likely change before the end of the season, but I think to start the season off, one of those two players will be on the team and they'll be the starter. I kind of feel like it's going to be Aubameyang just because I don't think we're going to be able to sell him. Lacazette probably will be able to sold for hopefully a good amount of money if that's the way we decide. I can see them both on the team, which is the sad part. But I think Aubameyang up top for me, just because I feel like we're not going to do our business right. In reality, we should sell both of them and use those funds to fill up the rest of the squad and still get a decent striker that's up and coming. I mean, I guess we'll get into it, but Pereira is one name that comes to mind. I think not really a striker, but just a scorer, so that would make it easy for us to maybe switch things up a little bit.
So
But,
Gary, so you pick Aubameyang, right? Aubameyang.
yeah.
So what's your high points and low points about Aubameyang?
Definitely. So the high points. Wow. Yeah, I think he had a terrible season. That's I mean, that's the sad
You're
part.
starting him next season.
I'm starting him next season, but I'm starting him next season because I think it's a blip. I don't believe Aubameyang. That was I think it's a blip.
He was
and
poor from finish to end, Gary.
He scored double figures in goals, right? So it wasn't all bad. It wasn't what we expect. He should be scoring 20
What
to
I
30 goals.
expected.
So,
Yeah,
Gary,
no, but you know what? He had a blip, and and you know what? A part of that, and you're gonna agree with me, it's not all on him. It's part of your favorite manager. It's Ray's uncle. I mean, come on, some of that.
who did you pick? Aubameyang?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Some of the negatives have to go his way as well. The player takes some of that. The situation, the malaria, the situation with his mother. I think those are things a little bit out of his control. But he had a lot of things under his control when he was on the pitch, and he didn't do what he needed to do. I'd rather him go out there and play for 70 minutes and get pulled because he's tired, and as opposed to play for 90 and he's not doing anything for us. And that's where I think those are some of the big negatives I see from him. Is that last season he would go out there and he would actually put press. He would press that back line. This season, not as much, and that's a problem for us. We need to be able to put some pressure on the back line from our forwards.
Do you see him scoring more goals, Gary?
I can see him scoring more goals because if the squad improves and Arteta improves his management and coachings. Yeah, we should be able to score more goals next season. I think if we had a different kind of manager, I think there's no way we wouldn't have scored any more from like 8 to 15 more goals. With a better coaching going on. So I think if the players grow into whatever Arteta wants to do, we should see better things from them, right? We expected Pepe to play better this season, and at the end of the season, you look at the numbers, you're like, yeah, he did, but he should have been doing a lot better than that based on where the way the first half of that season went for him. That was Arteta holding him back, right? Not playing in a squad that actually benefits some of your better players, and he got punished for it.
Highs and lows, Gary, Aubameyang?
Yeah, like I said, I think the low is pretty much he did have a poor season. I think being late to the North London Derby was probably the worst thing he did. That's one game you cannot miss. You can't miss that game. You can't be late for that game. And then he left early. right? I mean, just everything about that was just poor. Good things, I guess I don't know. I don't know. I guess he scored what? A
Hat-trick
brace? Did he
against,
score a hat trick?
Leeds.
Yeah. Against who? Leeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're gonna call
I
that a
really
good
love
one.
that. I really love that floated cross from Emil Smith Rowe.
That was really nice, right? That was really nice. But that's him attacking the goal, right? He needs to be doing that a lot more because that's the way that the team plays now, and he doesn't do that. I mean, he needs to put himself in. He's always behind the ball. He's supposed to be our striker. I mean, that's terrible.
Not enough moments from Aubameyang last season.
Yeah.
Alonso, what's your selection?
I want to say Lacazette. And I know I know Gary's going to disagree with me on that, but I think Lacazette, because he works harder than Aubameyang. I think that when given our Kevin's armband, he takes that and uses that as a way to teach younger kids about the way they should fight for Arsenal. I think he plays better with the younger kids like Saka and Moses Rowe and Odegaard. So just on a pinch, he does more than we don't realize, and I think it's important that he stays because he treats his kids like the big brother type that Aubameyang doesn't do, and he commands respect.
He is a good team player. He sees and recognizes like we want Kieran Tierney to do and grow. Alex Lacazette has assumed the responsibility as being a senior professional amongst younger players, and he's played, and he's actually probably worked with them on the training field, the likes of Emil Smith Rowe, Joe Willock, and the Europa League group stages, and Pepe and Saka, and you can see it on the field has come together. Lacazette is going to be the player that won't get you 20 goals this season, but
he could have this season.
He may coax more goals out of the likes of Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, and Pepe, and the goals will be shared around. I actually would agree with you, Alonso. Probably Lacazette. I want to say to Trevi, though, you're allowed to spend some money here. You have only spent, I think Gary spent on Bissouma, and I think Tony did and Alonso did as well. You can buy other players as well.
You got to sell. We're spending 600,000
a week
on two strikers.
Yes,
and we can't, and I don't think we can sell both.
And we haven't decided which one we're starting, obviously, because you're going with Aubameyang and we're going with Lacazette here. Right? But listen, I want the club to be ruthless. I do want the club to maybe sell Lacazette when the situation arises. We keep him another season, and we may not have much cash available to us for a sale. Tony, 2 votes for Lacazette, 1 for Aubameyang. Who are you picking? As if I didn't know.
Well, only one of them is really a striker. Klopp, his last season, played Uba on the left. You have Martinelli and Pepe, who's better on the left, playing straight down the middle. Uba's just not as good. And for whatever reason, Mr. Lego Head kept benching Lacazette for Eddie Nketiah, which he's now looking to extend Eddie Nketiah for shits and giggles, I guess. I don't know what reason he is. But for me, I'm definitely picking Lacazette because of what players like Smith Rowe and Saka both said about Lacazette is helping him grow. I think he's more of a leader. I think he's the one deserving of armband. Uba having the armband, just ridiculous. It's a waste of the armband. It's battle as bad as Zaka throwing it to the ground. It's kind of like your coach is throwing it in the ground.
Yeah.
Tierney, you don't deserve it. Lacazette, you don't deserve it.
All right. So listen, that is our first 11. Now we're going to get into the squad. Gary, it's your turn. We're going to go to goalkeepers. How many goalkeepers do you want to pick? 2? I would want to pick 2.
I'd want to pick 2, but I know that's not within the 20. That's not going to help with the 21 player.
No.
But
That's the dilemma we have. I've picked 2
well,
backup goalkeepers.
well, you know what? We're going to get Onana, right? So I guess we're going to have 2 goalkeepers. So if we're going,
One that can't play until November.
yeah, one that can't play.
But that's
so,
okay. You can start training in September.
yeah.
No
So I
problem.
mean, I think we should pick up Ryan. I think Onana.
Oh, nah.
I mean, I don't know. Am I only allowed to pick one player?
No,
Or
give me
we
your
go by
goalkeepers,
positions?
too.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna get both. We should get Ryan. If we don't get Ryan, then I'm not sure what we're doing.
Yeah.
But Onana, if we're gonna spend all this,
Mhm.
as long as the reports are correct, we're spending all that time, we might as well get him. Or else you just wasted all that transfer business research and stuff on a player you're not going to get, and we can't afford to do that.
Mhm.
So 2 goalkeepers for
um,
me. So I mean, we had 3 goalkeepers, or is it 4? I don't know. What we did something crazy. We had 3 goalkeepers, and we sat Nelson, right?
Yeah, I think that was in the Europa League when you had a lot of spots, a lot of subs. You could take 10 subs, I think. Alonso, I agree with Gary. We're going to get Onana. I think he's got maybe more potential than Bern Leno. Eventually, I think Bern Leno could be scared off by the competition. I think he's starting to look around. His agent's probably working for him right now as we speak. And I would go get Matt Ryan as well, a player who does want to be here. A lot like Bissouma, quietly confident that, Bissouma, we're going to get him as well. Alonso,
And Brownie's trying to punish us with his, coming up with all this good news.
South agreeing for Ryan because the new manager had Ryan as his number 1 when Australia. Okay.
Yeah, so I prefer I'd like to see Onana and Ryan in there just because I think we're going to lose Leno, or Leno doesn't want to be here, right? So why keep a player doesn't want to be here? And I think Ryan has respect as a club, or the players at least. So I think I pick him in now. Coming in the club.
Tony, what have you got? 2 goalkeepers as backups.
Well, I would only have 1 as backup, but you can't start the season with 1 goalkeeper with another being available in November. So, like I said, I would start Matt Ryan and Leno would be on the bench. I'd sell Leno in the summer and bring in new Nana whenever he can start.
All right. Alonso, since Gary started off with the goalkeeper, I'll go with Alonso so we have a mix of views as we go along. What would your cover be for the fullback positions, Alonso?
Well, it has to be. There's rumors that you're going to get we're interested in that guy from Lille, right? The right back. What's his name?
Me.
I was looking at that today, I think. Yeah.
I've got his name. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Selleck.
Yeah. Okay. So I would like to have him on Arsenal as maybe cover for. Is it Timbers, right?
Yeah.
Is that either fullback?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
of course, since I couldn't get Max Aarons into my starting lineup here, I'm going to nominate him as a backup right back here. So, I have my 21. That's who it is.
Your 21 gun salute.
Gary?
I actually going to go totally different because I saw it today and it kind of did. I'm like, it interested me. Tyler Adams. So U.S. right back, I think would be nice to have him come in. So I'm gonna go off the beaten path.
Gary, isn't he in Germany, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Does he play for Stuttgart?
I can't remember who he plays for. Let's see. Tyler Adams. Yeah, he plays for Leipzig. Yeah. Actually,
Oh.
Oh, that's really okay.
yeah.
I'm going to fill this spot just saying fullback, okay?
You just try switching things up for what reason? Is it
Because I
Tony's?
can.
Is it Tony's turn?
Because I
Mhm.
can. Yeah, it's Tony's turn. Tony, 2 center backs, because we're going to need 4 center backs, plus
I-
maybe Callum
I didn't have
Chambers.
my say on left or fullback.
We don't have. Yeah.
You didn't
All
let
right,
me
give me
say.
your fullback.
We were just talking right backs, and all of a sudden you like switched it to center backs. How does that work?
He likes to
Cover.
cut me
It's
off.
squad depth.
You just put fullback in there.
Yeah. Because we're going to differ. We're going to differ on our
You don't
fullback
know that.
cover.
If Tony picks one of the 3, then it's no differ.
Right. Let's see if he does. You think he will?
Come on, Tony.
Tony's picking one of the guys we've been with to at Bayer Leverkusen, the French center back, which can
I
also
told
play
you.
left back. So he's my left back and my center back.
Perfect.
So now we can start on center backs.
Curveball. See that, Gary? Curveball.
Yep. All right. Go
All
ahead.
right, Gary. Yeah, moving on to what I was saying a couple of minutes ago, but yeah. 2 center backs, Gary.
Saliba is one. I guess I'm going to have to settle for holding because I don't think we're going to spend any money. I don't think we need to spend any money. So, I mean, I know there's like talk about Ben White, but I don't see
No.
us spending $50 million on a center back when we've got 8 center backs we can choose from if you really think about it, right? You've got Ballard, you've got Mavropanos, you've got.
Mavropanos is gone. Ballard's will go out on loan.
Are they not officially? Not right now. Nobody's gone. Not one player is gone from Arsenal that you can, except for the ones that are out of contract.
David
I
Luiz.
like the butterfly second from bottom in the middle. That one. Yeah. I'm going to go for Saliba and Holding as our backups, as our center backs. Alonso, what have you got?
I go with Holding and Saliba.
Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. If Arteta is interested in Saliba, and I got to get to Tony because he'll call me out if I don't. Did you already chime in on this one, Tony?
I halfway chimed in on saying a Bayer Leverkusen player. The other one would. I still think Saliba's sold. I don't want Holding back there.
Holding is a good squad player. He's going to play 10 games for you. Where are you going to find a center back that is happy to sit on the bench for you?
He's bang average though.
We don't need him to play every game.
Mm-hmm.
I reluctantly will say Holding.
So Holding
There you go.
definitely is.
We got an answer out of him, Gary. There you go.
We did.
Gary, I'm getting out of sequence here, but I'm going to go with you, Gary.
Gary's starting like the last 3 segments.
Midfield backup. Give me 2 midfield backups.
Oh, he just walked away.
Alonso,
Alonso's turn.
2
After Gary
midfield
went 3 in a
backups.
row.
2 backups to Partey and Bissouma.
Oh wow. I go for Emil Smith-Rowe is an obvious choice, and I'd put in Aaron Ramsey. Oh yeah.
I'm going to ask you again, Alonso.
Yeah.
Did you eat dinner?
I ate some oranges.
Aaron Ramsey is going to be the new Kieran
I think he
Gibbs,
stole some
Gary.
of my chocolate, and some of my beer, and some of my weed.
Well, there's a rumor with Bellerin and Ramsey in a swap deal.
I thought the swap deal is real. That's ridiculous.
Alonso, I love Aaron Ramsey. I loved him when he was here.
His
And
time's gone though, right, Ray?
We should have
Okay,
given
Ray.
him. We should have given him the contract that Ozil got. Or we should have gotten rid of Ozil and
We
kept
didn't
Aaron
offer him a
Ramsey.
contract
Okay, Ray.
until after we offered
But
I get
that
it.
Ozil
boat,
and pissed
that
him
boat
off.
has sailed, Alonso.
My second choice midfielder would be Aziz.
Nice one. That's a good promotion, and that will make Sam Greenwood very, very happy.
Because I think that he's ready. I think that he's the kind of midfielder that can come out of the academy and do something right now. You know what I'm saying? He has that talent level, and it's up to Arteta to use that talent level to do something with him. You know what I mean? We had to do realistic expectations, right? And
Yeah.
we gotta start at some point to use our academy, right? Again.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yep. I'm gonna bring Joe Willock back from his loan, and he's gonna be in the squad. A player who can add goals.
In
If
the
he's given
midfield,
the
or is he gonna be
opportunities.
Cam?
What?
Is he gonna be with Cam, or is he gonna be in the midfield?
Midfield, central midfield. Yeah.
Even though he scores for shits and giggles now when he's played us.
I mean, you gonna put him in ahead of Emil Smith Rowe or Odegaard?
I'm gonna play two of them. Two box to box creative attacking players.
And
Two.
my second squad player will be Mohamed El Neni, a player a lot like Rob Holding. Any squad needs players like this. Consistent, chips in with a few goals, and actually makes himself available to being able to play out from the back and beating the press. I think he's really, really good at beating the press, and he's really, really good at closing games out. Tony?
Since the host is shoehorning me here, I'm going to have to go with Willock and El Nini.
He agrees with me, Gary.
Because you fucking shoehorned me.
Yeah, there you go. At least he got that in there, because at least we know it's not because he really likes what you had to say.
Yeah. Highs and lows for Joe Willock first. The goal against Tottenham when he was on loan for Newcastle, and obviously the lows is that we didn't use him enough.
The lows is Lego man didn't trust in him. The highs, he scored 7 goals away from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary?
Yeah, no, it's weird because I look at who I have here, and I had like my other, I guess I had a Milsrif Rowe and Neves kind of. So I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so Milsrif Rowe definitely, right?
Yeah.
So I just don't see Arteta doing the right thing if he brought Willock back. That's something that Richard Garlick needs to have a little bit of say in this. You know, is there something wrong with Willock that you can't use him? You know, I would like to know what that answer is. Right? What is the answer? What answer could Arteta give to Garlick to say, you know what? Nah, Willock, we've got to sell him. Right? El Neni, I think, is easy to stay because you're not gonna.
You got to
how much
sell
was
Willock,
spent.
in your opinion, Gary?
You got to what?
You think we got to sell Willock? It's going to happen, you think?
I think we're going to sell him because I don't think he knows how to use him.
What's your minimum price?
So for Willock should be easily at least 25.
Yeah, at least
25.
That would be the bar.
I mean, if they took him and he scores that seventh goal or whatever it is he needs to score, he'll be worth the 25, 30 mil that they pay. No doubt about that. Think about it. That's how they start their season. He scores, gets the 7th goal in a row. Shearer, who kind of thing, you know? No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, that he's up there with the best at that. So yeah, I think these are the type of deals you need to do. Because I think they've already wasted the opportunity to keep him. So
I really like our midfield. Xhaka leaving, get Bissouma. We have Partey. Put Willock and El Neni in there. I like that midfield a lot. And I think Willock will be given the minutes, hopefully. A lot of these things, I have some players in here. I don't know how Arteta is going to react with them.
Yeah.
Saliba, Joe Willock. These are concerns for me. You know, how Arteta is going to use these players, if he's going to use them. Alonso, your central midfielders. Or did I ask you already?
You know, I think
You started with him.
okay.
I started with you.
So I want to backtrack here a little bit. I think Aziz maybe go on loan because he's just so young, and Elneny has shown this past year how valuable he could be. You know, and he could even put in some goals for you. So, I'd rather have him than. Well, I'd rather have him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Right.
Aziz, I think Balogun are players that if they're not on the squad, they're getting playing time, so it's a
Mhm.
plus.
Someone tell the host we don't need two deep midfielders. Partey can do it solo. Tony, you're going to get first shot. We got 3 places left in our forward line. Give me your 3 players. We've taken 18 spots here, and I actually haven't filled that.
Balogun, Martinelli. I would have went out and bought Edward. I think we still need to go out and buy a striker. Or it'd be ridiculously stupid if we bring Eddie and Kedia back into the squad. We need to go spend 15 to 20 million for another striker.
Gary?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on my list that I have here, I do have Martinelli and I do have Balogun. So
Third player yet to be decided.
yeah, and I have question marks. I mean, I do have. I think I'm going to go with it. Go for it. Okay, we're just going to bring in Pereira, and just have some more offensive talent on the squad. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. So Balogun will be the backup to Aubameyang, and then you've got also Martinelli who can fill in if you really needed to. So, I mean, Martinelli will probably need to get playing time anyway, so why not? You can play him either at the wing or you can put him up top. Meanwhile, Balogun can grow into playing for the first team. So I think, I think these are good questions to have because, I mean, you got Pepe, you got Saka, you got Balogun, you got Martinelli. Where are they all going to go? Right? At some point, you're only going to be able to play 3 of them, so somebody's going to sit out. Who's going to sit out? Unless you switch things around, I don't think we can do that.
It's a long
Martinelli.
season. There's going to be a lot of minutes out there. Alonso, you're 3 to fill out the 21.
So this is assuming that Aubameyang leaves, right? So
I have on the ticker tape here Aubameyang or Balogun. And we can go 21, 22.
So
Yeah, with 22 gun salute.
So I'm assuming that Aubameyang leaves. This is my team assuming Aubameyang leaves. So I'm going with Balogun. I'm going with Martinelli. And my last spot.
Some new guy.
Right.
Emil Smith-Rowe.
Did we not pick him? He's not on there yet?
He wasn't in the 11.
He was on my. He's a substitute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's on the team. He's my first sub.
Hopefully he's not injured a lot.
So I just thought about this. If Nketiah is sold, right, I'd promote John Jules.
You're going really young, man. You're going really young.
Well, right, but
I think it's a good thing though. We got to bring in some of the young players, and this lends the question to what we're going to do in the transfer market. You know, we're going to go get Bissouma, and then maybe a young player comes forward from the academy. Maybe we go get something at right back. And is that it then? You know, we don't do anything at striker.
We need
Because,
left back
like-
more than right back.
Because I think that you could always interchange Martinelli. Yeah, and I think Balogun's ready. Yeah, I think with the way he plays in the academy and the contract that he signed was based on him in playing time, and I think that you can't keep a guy like that on the bench. You know, he has to play some, and I think you'll see that next year.
With Balogun.
Yeah.
My real concern with Balogun, Tony, is that do we send him out on loan for a full season? Do we send him out on loan for half a season, or do we keep him at the club getting 20 minutes at the end of the games if we're lucky?
I think you throw him in for 20 or 30 minutes like we should have Martinelli this season, but you never know with Lego head.
It's a real tricky one, Gary. 3 substitutes per game, Premier League games. Arteta's maybe not going to take the risk in most games with putting Fowler in.
Or realize he has 3 subs.
What?
I said he might not realize he has 3 subs.
Somebody might tap him on the shoulder and say, "You do know you've got 2 more subs you can make, right?"
That new goalkeeper coach might come
In
running.
the 91st minute, Gary.
There is no reason why we shouldn't be using our subs every game because I mean,
We are at like the 85th minute. Does it
no, I
mean
know, but we
something
need to be
you?
able to. We need to be able to change games sooner than later, right? So
You
I
don't
like to
change it in
say-
the last 5 minutes?
yeah, you do if that player has a contract stipulation that he needs to play, right? We don't have that anymore, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully William's gone.
But no, it's I mean that's the crazy part, right? We've reduced our squad to 21, but we may still be paying for another 9 players or whatever the number or whatever the
Look,
count is.
It could be 23. It could be 22. Who knows?
We'll have to buy out Kolesniak.
A lot
guys.
less games next season. We'll see what happens. This was just a fun exercise.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit I'm most invested. I want to ask the other 3 of you who you're most invested in the coming season that you are going to be irrationally attached to as an Arsenal player. I want Joe Willock to succeed.
Irrationally or irrationally?
Irrationally. Where logic will not dictate for me. I want Joe
Is this
Willock.
using Lego binary or just regular logic?
Jesus Christ.
Alonso, who do you want? Who do you
He
want?
just
Yeah,
ghosted
question.
you because you
Let's
I
see.
went the other direction. I went that way.
I'm gonna.
Tony always got to start one segment.
All right, Tony.
see what you did to David Alonso.
Okay, Tony. I'm gonna go with Martinelli.
Martinelli, yeah. And I'm feeling that Gary feels the same way as well. Gary?
Wow, that is crazy because there's a lot on here, but like no, Martinelli needs to kind of do basically what Saka did this past season, where they basically went from, come in, gave us some flashes of brilliance, and then the next season they're just part of. Eventually if you find it hard to not be able to figure out how to get them on the pitch because you got to find a way. So, I mean, I'm hoping this the time at the Olympics should help him. More than likely, they're gonna bring him back in slowly, but eventually he's gonna pick up, and then we'll be talking about him like we talk about Saka at the end of the season. Basically, I guess he's got a spot. Somebody else isn't. That's going to be a good problem to have, right? If he comes in and he is as good as we think or we want him to be, the team hopefully wants to keep him. Thus, we might be able to sell some decent players, ones that we didn't think of because we got him.
And I want to ask the three of you. The fixtures are released next Wednesday. Are you all good to go 6 days from now? Instead of a Thursday night, we're going to do Wednesday night to go through the fixture list.
Can we not
I'm
do
not
both?
sure yet.
Wednesday and Thursday.
I'm ready for a double header.
Sure, we can do that. We can do a double header. But listen, if you're watching this in playback, you're watching it live, we'll probably be going 6 days from now. The Premier League fixtures will be released on the 16th of June. I think that's good time to have a podcast. Tony, who are you invested in apart from Lacazette that you want to succeed?
Like I said, I had Willock starting as one of my box-to-box midfielders. He went out on loan, showed what he can do. Now it's up to Lego Head to say, hey, I can do something with this guy. Or I can just throw him on the bench or out like he does half his players. So Willock's my choice.
A team that's devoid, I think he scored more goals in those 7 games than our whole midfield all season. That's our 21-man squad, maybe 22-man squad. Hopefully we can fill it out. We can get some players in, some players out. Let's go to the Euro previews. We're going to do a prediction section here. We're going to go around on the 7 games this weekend, and we're going to go win, lose, or draw for each one, and we each get a point for a correct result. Tony, you're going to go first. Italy versus Turkey. Who's going to win, or will it be a draw?
It's a big draw.
Sit on the fence. Gary?
I'm not on the fence. I wouldn't be surprised if Turkey wins, but I think
Italy versus Turkey, Gary.
Italy. I think Italy is. Yes, it's the first game, but I think they're going to come out a little bit, ready to go.
Did you see how Turkey did during qualifications, Gary?
Yeah. They annihilated Norway.
Okay, is Norway? Yeah, that's it. You're comparing Norway to Italy. Is that what we're doing?
They did good against a lot of teams.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just like, that's not a good example for me. But I think Italy is a little bit further ahead than Turkey is. Yeah.
All right. So. Listen, we'll save the banter for if and when Gary gets that wrong, right? For Sunday.
If and when.
Get through these 7 games quickly, then we can actually preview the tournament. Alonso, Italy or Turkey?
I say Turkey.
Or draw.
I say Turkey wins.
You say Turkey wins, Alonso. Okay. I actually think Turkey will win as well, so I'm going to go with Turkey. Gary, you can start with Switzerland versus Wales, and you can make Brownie very unhappy tonight.
Switzerland versus Wales. Is Brownie even in? Is he in the chat still?
He's here. He's crypto with Brownie.
Oh, you know what I heard today?
He changed his name.
I know. You know what I heard today? That crypto with Brownie as opposed to football. This guy,
he's all about doggy coin now.
Yeah.
He stole one of my Shibas.
Yeah, somebody was talking. You know what? Now that Jacques is probably gone from Arsenal, he's just going to come on and have like a top game.
He's gonna break his leg.
Okay, you could go there if you want, but others say he might come out and do something crazy. Wow, I'm gonna.
You're going to go for a
draw. I'm gonna go. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna go.
Bale versus Xhaka.
I'm gonna go with Switzerland. Sorry.
You can do draws as well.
I can do a draw. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, the way I went.
Switzerland for you. All right, Alonso.
I'm going for Arab.
Wales for Alonso. Okay. I'm going to go for a draw in this game. Tony?
I always liked Wales, but I don't think they're going to win. Switzerland will win.
Okay. And Alonso, you get to go first. Finland versus Denmark, the second game on Saturday.
I'm going for Nicholas Bentner's Denmark.
He
Denmark.
retired.
I know that, Tony.
I know, he knows that. He's infuriating.
He's nailing.
I agree, Alonso. Denmark will win. Tony,
The Danes.
the Danes will win. Denmark. Gary,
Who's playing again? Sorry.
Finland versus Denmark.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
Denmark.
Which one of Sam's neighbors does that win, Gary?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Denmark.
Yeah,
Denmark.
I get to start the next one. Russia versus Belgium. I think Belgium are one of the dark horses for the tournament. Belgium will win that game. And yes, jump in the chats as well. Stefan thinks Turkey will beat Italy. Tony, Belgium versus Russia.
I think it's going to be a really close one. I'm going to go with a draw.
Draw. Okay. Gary?
I'm gonna have to do a draw at some point. I just don't. Well, I think I'm gonna go with a draw because is De Bruyne back though? Is he still out for a little while?
He's still out.
Well, no, he had concussion.
Yeah.
Out of the Champions League.
So I think they're going to
final.
be a little bit out of sorts. So missing their best player. So draw.
You know, the best teams that go deep into the competition usually start off badly.
Yeah. So this might be a loss. I'm going to go draw.
Tournament time.
I'm going to go draw. But
Draw.
yeah.
Okay. And remember this, Gary.
Remember this.
Remember this? Ray's weird mathematic equations to come up
All
with
right.
that
Can you
bullshit.
take that off? I can't look at that screen anymore. Tell
Don't
me
let
when
it
it's
happen
done.
in this competition, Gary. Don't let it happen. That's all I'm saying.
As long as the
This
rules
time we're
don't.
gonna get your.
As long as the rules don't change on us, then yeah.
We're gonna make sure you write it down on paper this time.
Alonso, I was just having fun there. Alonso, Russia versus Belgium.
So it's Andre Arshavin versus Thomas Vermaelen, right?
Except they're retired. Both are. Don't you know both of them?
He's
are-
obsessed with the retired Arsenal players. He doesn't give a shit about the current team. He just
Yes,
likes
I
old
do.
Arsenal players.
So it'll be a draw.
All right, cool. Who went first? Me last time. Okay,
Three
Tony.
Lions. Move on.
Oh, Tony. Tony gets Croatia versus England. Tony.
I said
Ooh.
3 Lions. Move on.
Jesus Christ, Tony, calm down, man.
Zonk
Hey.
is gone. Our pace is picked up. Let's move on.
He's edgy. He's edgy. Brownie's back. Can I
Okay.
say, Brownie? Let's see. Wales versus Switzerland. Gary and Tony went for Switzerland, Brownie. Just want to tell you that.
But I said I liked
You're just
Wales.
trying to upset him. I don't know why you're doing that.
Tony went for England. Gary.
Yeah, I'm gonna. England should win this one. Should.
And that's your affiliation, right? You want them to win?
Yeah. Have I said a draw yet? I haven't, right?
Yeah, you did. Draw for
Oh, Belgium. Okay, the
Russia,
surprise.
Belgium. Yeah,
You know
okay,
what?
you went with England.
Belgium waffles.
What would happen? What happens if they lose?
Oh,
what
England?
happens? Yeah.
Well, strangely enough, I think most of the teams get out of their group if they come third, depending. So the top two definitely advance, and the third possibly will advance. So
Mhm.
you'd have to be really bad to lose to go out in the group stages. Alonso, Croatia, England. Is it coming home?
I think it'll be a draw
Draw. Okay.
because Croatia's a good team. They were runners up, runners up in the World Cup. So,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of that team is still on that roster. So I think it'd be a tough game for England. I think it'll be a draw.
I'm going to go for an England win. They usually go into these tournaments playing quite well and get weaker as the tournament progresses. Tony, North Macedonia versus Austria.
Austria.
Gary,
Gary's like, why are you asking me this? It's
I
Austria.
know that. I don't. Yeah,
thinking about
Austria. I was gonna say draw because I wanted to. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Alonso?
draw. I'm gonna go draw. Draw.
well, you're going to go draw. Okay.
I know.
Let's make
that's
sure we get race picks down here.
I'm writing everything down.
just-
I'll
yeah,
be
you said
recording.
that last time.
Alonso,
I'm going
North
for
Macedonia or Austria.
Austria.
And Austria has got a player called Sabitzer. Really, really would like him for Arsenal. Decent player. I think Austria wins as well. So Gary's gone for a draw in that one. Gary, you get to go for the last one. Ukraine versus Netherlands.
I'm going Netherlands. The Dutch.
Deutsch.
Deutsch.
Alonso.
Hey, didn't Alexander Hibb play for Ukraine? Is he from Ukraine?
Luzhny, Oleg Luzhny. You pick
Okay.
an Arsenal player.
Okay.
Ukraine.
Wow, that's going way back.
Yeah. Oleg Luzhny.
So I'm going for the Flying Van Persies with this one.
For who? Van Persie.
Flying Van Persies, yeah, or flying Bergkamps. So yeah, I'll go for Holland.
You're messing with Tony. I love it.
man.
It's all good banter, Tony. Robin Van Persie and Vermaelen are going
What's
to
he
win.
gonna do when all those players are dead? It's just still going to be picking them.
It's gonna be an emotional time for me, Tony.
Tony, Ukraine or Netherlands?
Who do you think I'm gonna pick?
Netherlands.
We don't know, Tony. Answer the question,
They were
man.
off.
The Flying Dutchman. Let's get this fucking show over with.
Gary,
I have to pick. I still have to pick another game.
maybe you did pick Uri. Netherlands. You picked the Netherlands.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
What did you pick, Ray?
I picked the Netherlands.
Do we have it down on paper and video now?
So I'll be back in 1 second. Gary, just kick off the conversation, previewing the tournament, favorites, and all that good stuff. I'll be right back.
Great. So here we go. All right. So Alonso, who's your favorite going into the Euros?
Can I give you my top three?
If you want to.
Okay,
Who's just going to win, and then you can, embellish, or you can start with your three and then pick the one who's going to win.
I think Germany's got a strong chance. I think England, and I think my dark horse would be, I think, Turkey. Oh, no. Wales would be my dark horse.
Oh, all right.
No, sorry. I'm going with Portugal, maybe Germany, and England.
All right. Who do you think is going to win?
I think who's going to win is going to be. Oh man, I want to say England.
All right. Bringing it home, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to bring it home. All right, Tony. Tell me who's gonna win the Euros?
France as I win the Euros again.
France.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I kind of think it's going to be
My
a struggle.
Alonso.
Why did you just leave us?
He had
I
to
kinda
go
thought it was
check
gonna be
on
a struggle.
former Arsenal players.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
book a trip to Inter Miami. Had to go
Yeah.
watch them play tomorrow.
and I think France has they have a good chance. The only problem is I think their group games are going to be kind of tough. So I think you might get some surprises there, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's a bit of tough group.
it's just going to be a tough group. So not only are they going to have to play each other, but one of them could knock each other out because of the way they're playing. And Hungary could surprise them if they get one of these teams on a bad day. I think it's going to be hard to do that against France, but I think Portugal. I mean, all those teams have something special about them. So could be a bloodbath, could be draws all over the place, but it could be high scoring draws as well. So for me, I think I had France winning, but I do. England should do well. The only thing is, can they overcome their manager, their coach?
All the French center backs, I don't know how teams
Yeah.
are going to be scoring much against them.
So it's interesting, having France, Germany, Portugal in the same group. You can see two of them probably making a deep run just because of the play, right? So it could be still those, two of those teams going down the stretch in the knockout rounds. But I think France is going to do it for me. I'm looking forward to this. I would like to see how this England team's going to do. The only problem is when they do good, that could mean, what could it mean?
You never know with them.
No, but if England's doing good, what does that mean?
They're not get knocked out in the group stages. Probably.
No, even worse.
What's
Who's
that happen,
playing-
Gary?
Who's playing well for them if they're doing good?
Your buddy Kane,
Mm,
Diamond Kane.
yeah, so that could be it's a positive negative type thing, So
You're going for 3 Diamond Canes instead of the 3 Lions.
ugh.
Did we lose Alonso?
Yeah, he answered his question and he just dropped off. I
He had to
don't
go
know.
to Miami. He had to go check on Karen Gibbs.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
did.
So,
Yeah.
the favorites are obviously France. A lot of big names in that team, but will they put it all together? There'll be pressure on them.
They got
To
enough
follow-
center backs to stop anybody.
Yeah. Second favorites are, I think, England. And
Brownie can tell you odds.
Are you looking at the odds right now? Is that what you're trying to do?
yeah,
Brownie can just tell you odds. Brownie, what's odds?
let's we'll recap this really quickly. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this. As
Yeah,
the tournament,
like they said, surprise team could be Spain, right? I don't know where I heard
Yeah.
it, but it sounds like a lot of
Spain could
they
be
could win a lot of
surprise team.
1-0
I actually-
matches.
I actually have the odds here. Not the odds, but the favorites are France. Second favorites are England. Belgium are third favorites, who I think will be really, really probably my pick for the win. This
He says Spain are 15-2.
this crop of Belgian players, if they're going to come good, it has to be.
They're not gonna come good, Ray. Their
Yeah,
time's
they don't have
past.
to. How do you do that without their leader? Without one of the best
On
players in the
Umbrella.
world.
Yeah. He will
Yeah.
come back. I mean,
No, he'll come back, but they might drop some points.
I think
before
the
that,
Dutch
right?
might be the dark horses.
yeah, that's a good shout. Germany are fourth favorites. Italy fifth favorites, and then it goes Portugal, the holders.
Brownie said Italy's 4th favorite, so you're looking at 2 different bookies.
Yep. Italy's fifth favorites. When has Brownie been credible ever?
I trust him when it comes to bookies, even though he didn't pay on your bet. Or
Oh, he hasn't
donate.
paid you yet.
No, he hasn't paid me yet. Are England second favorites?
Oh, but he has all the time in the world to pay you now, right? He's just sitting. He's sitting in a room or something like that.
He don't have Miss Putin to take care of anymore, so he should have more money.
Or maybe he had more money because he had Miss Putin around. So which one is it?
What kind of coin does he have now? Crypto coin with Brownie. Crypto. You can pay me in crypto coins.
Is a paying doggy coin.
Yeah, tell him you just want one coin
Why?
because one coin would be okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's the Euro preview. Not a great one, but listen. We
Read
went through
Steven's
things.
comment.
As the tournament,
Read Steven's comment.
Rowdy is so incredible. He's incredible. Rowdy is my trusted source. Alonzo, what's your take on the tournament? Who do you think's going to win it in the end? Let's do that.
You want to do it all? You want to do it all over again?
No, just tell me who's going to win it all.
So I was saying England, but my other three picks would be Germany and Portugal.
Gary?
I think I said France.
Me and Gary said France.
Yeah,
that's the easy pick. Come on.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, I
did a good dark horse.
All right, listen. Let's do it without France. So, bar France, who's going to win? Gary?
I want to see England do good, I guess.
Very lukewarm.
I think England doing good is a double-edged sword, right? If they do good, then they won't change anything. If they do bad, then they've done bad, but they might change something. So, but no, I think England should have a deep that they have a deep squad. So, what are they going to get? Do they get 5 subs? Is this considered like they get 3 subs? Yeah.
Listen, I'm just looking forward to watching some football in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the subs. Brownie probably knows that. Tony, if it's not going to be France, Tony, who's winning?
I don't know. For some fucking reason, I keep thinking the Flying Dutchman.
Going to hang my England flag out, Stefan said. I support 2 teams in this tournament. Okay, Alonso, you said Germany, right?
No, I said England, but my other picks would have been Germany or Portugal.
Right. Okay. And I think Belgium are going to be pretty strong. I think we'll leave it there. We'll get final thoughts, and we'll start with Gary, who's in a punchy mood this evening.
He started off with his back against the wall, and he hasn't recovered yet.
He hasn't recovered.
Yeah. I guess good thing there is some football coming on because then we can distract us from the transfer window, which is
all things Arsenal.
Yeah, all things Arsenal. So Xhaka maybe disappear, Willian disappear, Hector Bellerin maybe disappears, all while we're watching these games. So that might be a plus. So we'll see. So hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully we have a lot of good matches. I mean, I don't know. I like to see some. Huh?
Gary, this is a great point from Stephen here. Southgate and COVID. He's probably being serious here. You can make a joke out of it for sure, but COVID have messed up the normal feel-good, positive vibes. So
no, definitely. I mean, I think Southgate's incompetence, right, and COVID basically changing the face of the game. I mean, and this is not just football. This is every sport in the world, right? Yeah. Every sport in the world is not the same. There's even though they have fans now, it's not the same. They haven't played like that for months, So, yeah, COVID has changed everything. If the fans come back, if they're filling up stadiums next season, I mean, the players probably won't even they'll probably be like, why do my ears ringing? Why do I have headaches? Because the crowds be so happy to see live football. So yeah, no. Hopefully, huh?
Real quick, do you think the Premier League was impacted by no crowds? If you just put that one factor in, no crowds in the stadiums, do you think the final positions finishing were impacted?
I think so. I believe. I like this thing. I think West Ham may have done better than they would have if the crowds, if it was full. I'm not sure. Arsenal may have wilted. That's the fear that I have there. But they also could have had players that just said, I don't care. I'm going to go out there and play, and be the better for it. So, So I think West Ham probably benefited from it.
Thanks, Gary. Alonso, final thoughts.
Yeah, it was a good chat. I think that it sets the tone for the summer, and whether or not the board, KSE, Arteta, Edu really take this window seriously, because we've been saying since what's his name, Arteta's been on as coach for Arsenal, manager or whatever, that this window would be important for him. But it seems like it's got off to a discouraging start. So I think that it was good to have our predicted starting 11 in our 2022 man roster, because it kind of shows you where we're at as a club. And maybe in the future, our Arteta just talks about more how we could at least, or he could bring on more of the youngsters and have faith in them, and maybe start them more often than not. So it's really an important transfer season, I think, for sure. And also, it's kind of cool to preview the Euros as well, because maybe Arsenal pick up a guy who's not mentioned as much in the Euros, and they can use this as a launching pad for their career.
Yeah, Brownie said last tournament Spain sacked their manager the day before the tournament. No, they didn't bother giving the players the vaccine. Steven said it was hard to watch on TV with no fans on the ground. We used to turn the games off. I couldn't get into it. We do hope that next season crowds will be coming back into the stadium, because football, fans in the stadium is a lifeblood of the game. And
And you can't hear Arteta shout.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
we saw, Tony, what it's like without that. You don't want to hear Arteta's voice anymore, Tony.
I don't want to hear Danny or Gabby or any of that shit anymore.
We won't have a Danny. We have a couple of Gabbys. Is that your final thought?
No, that's not my final thought at all.
It should be. It should have been.
I'm not that short on my final thoughts. I think Euros is going to be interesting, having different host cities and different countries spread out. I think that's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good distraction from Arsenal not signing anybody. Hopefully we get to see I was hoping we get to see Xhaka leave before the Euros started, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of happy. Go ahead.
Officially, the window opened yesterday. So, listen, let's calm down. Sorry for cutting you off 3 times there. Go ahead, Tony.
3?
Maybe 3, maybe 4.
3 in the last, 3 minutes, you mean?
Yeah, he cut us off like 10,000 times today.
That's my job.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his job.
Okay.
Listen, thanks for watching, everyone. This was more of a fun one. Arsenal content's a little bit thin on the ground, so having a look at the squad, just having fun with it was a good thing, and just having a discussion with the 3 of you was also good. So, Tony, thanks for coming in and being the grouchy guy.
I'm not a grouchy guy. I'm a happy guy. Xhaka's gone.
Yeah, the X-Files are closed, Gary.
The X-Files are, until they're closed, they're closed. But right now, we can see the credits, and the credits hopefully will end soon. Everybody in the chats, thank you for joining us tonight.
We'll be able to watch him tear it up in the Euros, and we wish we had him back.
Well, if that happens, Brownie's going to be upset.
Very funny, Ray.
Alonso has a former Arsenal player right next to him. He's got Ian Wright down there.
Listen,
we'll be back right next to him.
We'll be back on Sunday, I think around 4 p.m. UK time. We're probably going to come back Wednesday night instead of Thursday night, or maybe a double header.
It's a double header, Ray.
Maybe a double header. We're gonna
put in some work.
The fixtures will be out in 6 days. We'll be able to analyze how Arsenal are going to do, and we'll be so accurate about it. Right? And Stan is here. He's predicting it's coming home. What is it?
They have enough games in Ireland and England to win.
Hey, not everybody. They're not the only team, right? That's playing close to home. Right? There are others, right?
Mhm.
So,
All right. Listen, we'll get out of here. We'll see you on Sunday when we'll look back at our predictions. And
And see how
like,
Ray cheated us.
until then, take care. Thanks everyone for
all right,
joining.
everyone.
Thanks
See
for
you guys.
watching. Really appreciate you. And we'll see you next time.